As Abdul Kalam famously said, we have to become, instead of employment seekers, employment generators.
You can also become an entrepreneur. The confidence that I can do, we have to become, instead of employment seekers, employment generators.
In every sense, this is very much true for Canada's growth. With the very many changes and reforms and measures that IRCC has brought to us lately, just in the recent times, it's very natural for one to wonder, is this the end of the road for Canadian immigration? Let me assure you, that's far from the truth. The immigration paths to Canada at this time may seem a bit thornier than before, but with the right guidance, it is very much still achievable. In this video, we're going to be talking about specifically the self-employment and the entrepreneur stream, which does have the potential for permanent residency. Wondering what next bombshell is going to be dropped by IRCC? Well, consider following us. We'll make it seem a lot less destructive. Now let's dive right into the video. The C11 Entrepreneur Work Permit pathway is essentially catered to foreign business owners with some substantial work experience as a business owner, or at least in the senior management level of a business, to come to Canada, set up their new business, or even purchase an existing business. And this pathway could essentially lead to a permanent residence through either a provincial nomination or directly at the federal level. So what is the eligibility criteria for the C11 pathway? Number one, own at least 50% of the business, relevant work experience, have the sufficient funds to be able to set up a business in Canada. And the fourth important, be able to demonstrate a significant benefit to the Canadian economy by, for example, generating more jobs for fellow Canadians and permanent residents in Canada. And the most important aspect of the eligibility requirement is to have a very comprehensive and a strong business plan. That is the basis of this entire application. And along with the business plan, it is also important to show that your visit or the work permit is of a temporary nature and that you have an intent to return back to your home country after setting up or getting your business off the ground. Now, coming to the application process, first and foremost, it is important to set up a business in Canada or purchase an existing business in Canada. Next would be a business plan preparation. I'd like to reiterate that a business plan is the crux of this entire application, and so it needs to be as detailed as possible and be developed in a way that it addresses all the potential questions that the officer may have when reviewing your application for the C11 work permit. The next step in the process would be obviously to apply for the C11 work permit with all the supporting documentation to demonstrate the eligibility. And upon the approval of the work permit, it is important for the applicant to come here to Canada and follow through on the business plan. And there are ways in which you can show that you're actively working on that business plan, even though your business is not looking at making heavy profits in the first year. Now, how do you qualify for a permanent residence through the C11 category? Well, after 12 months of successfully running your business in Canada, you can qualify through the various provincial nominee programs or directly for the express entry at the federal level. Now, I know most of you will wonder, what about our families? Are family members also eligible to get their relevant permits? Absolutely. So your family members will be eligible for their relevant type of temporary resident permits. For example, your spouse will be eligible for an open work permit. Your son or daughter or your child essentially will be eligible for a study permit or a visitor visa depending on their age as well. So who is this program good for? It's good for individuals that have experience of being an entrepreneur or have been business owners previously in their life. It's good for self-employed individuals who are looking to continue their self-employed professional pathway in a country like Canada. Professionals that are seeking an LMI exempt pathway to Canada. This is an ideal option for them. And also with all the challenges that IRCC has brought to us lately, one may wonder that it's very hard for one to become a PR in Canada as of today, a permanent resident in Canada, that is. This program is one such pathway that directly leads to a permanent residency. So this is ideal for temporary residents that are looking for a permanent residence pathway ultimately. I'll give you some examples of what successful businesses or successful applicants' profiles can look like. A tech entrepreneur planning to establish their software development business in Canada, perhaps, or an artist seeking to promote their culture in Canada. A self-employed graphic designer looking to move to Canada with their existing clientele, or an owner of a manufacturing company perhaps that is looking to bring their manufacturing plant over to Canada. These are some great examples of what successful applications can look like. If you are someone that's looking to get more information on this program because it interests you, feel free to reach out to our team. You can reach out to us at the number mentioned below. You can also email us at info@cougarme.com. And if there are any points that I probably missed out on this video, comment down below. Hit the subscribe button and click on the bell icon. When I drop a video next, you'll know first.